From New York, Melissa, we shift now to Texas, a state that's already taking steps to reopen its economy. And the governor, Greg Abbott, on Fox Business earlier in the day, talking about the state's plans. Let's take a listen.
We want to make sure we open as many businesses as possible. Stuart, however, we want to make sure we do it in a very safe way that does not stoke an expansion of COVID-19.
Joined now from the state of Texas by Karl Rove, a former advisor to President George W. Bush, Fox News contributor. What do you think of the way Governor Abbott has been handling things there in Texas, Karl?
Well, I think very prudent. I think your viewers need to understand he has a committee of business and community leaders and healthcare professionals. Some of the state's leading people in the business sector and in community leaders. But he also has on that committee the head of the Department of Health and Human Services, Dr. John Hellerstadt. He has the very respected former state legislator, Dr. John Zerwas, who's the vice chancellor of the University of Texas system in charge of their health care system. He has Dr. Parker Hudson, a leading epidemiologist who is an expert in infectious disease. And he has Dr. Mark McClellan, former FDA commissioner and the head of the Medicare and Medicaid systems under George W. Bush. And the committee is going to recommend steps to methodically open up the Texas economy and show how to do it. But those steps have to be approved not only by the overall committee, they have to be signed off on by the subcommittee of these health experts. I think it's a very smart way to go about doing it.
Right, a balanced approach. Now, everybody says in situations like this, although we haven't had, thank goodness, many situations like this, but when there's turmoil like this, people say, well, we don't want to consider politics at all. But I have to think they're considered to some degree, and as they are, is it your sense that leaders like Governor Abbott are considering more the risk of keeping the economy closed, the political risk of doing that, versus the risk of opening up too soon and then having, some problems crop up if there's a resurgence in cases? How are they balancing that politically?
Well, absolutely. I think he's concerned about it. That's why he has these healthcare experts helping frame these decisions and approve these decisions. But look, I was talking to one of the members of this task force, the strike force as they call it, a couple of days ago, who told me that at one of our major hospitals in Dallas, which was focused on COVID-19, and they were not, obviously like other hospitals, they were not involved in elective surgeries. They were down to 3 patients who had COVID-19 out of the hundreds and hundreds of beds in this hospital. And so, yes, we ought to be at a place where we figure out how to deal with this, carefully monitor it, test. And we got a big challenge on testing. That's Dr. Hudson's expertise is on testing, and we're clearly got a lot of work to do there. But I think the governor's looking at what's the balanced approach. How can we prudently reopen our economy? For example, right now, like a lot of states, you can call up a restaurant and order a meal to pick up. So on Friday, the committee has approved that beginning on Friday, retail stores can also do pickup. That is to say, you can call into the hardware store and say, I need the following items, and I'll be by to pick them up. So, or I need this from a retail outlet. I need office supplies, and they will be able to put together that order for you, charge your credit card, and have them waiting for you to pick up, just like you do with a dinner meal. So, they're doing it thoughtfully, prudently. We're all in new territory, so nobody's going to get it perfect. No state's going to get it exactly perfect. But I think the governor's moving exactly in the right, prudent way.
Because so many of those business owners are hurting so much economically. So if you can find that balance, maybe it can help them out a little bit. Karl, thank you very much. Always good to talk to you. Melissa.